Mandie Sue, and I am so excited to have Jessica in my chair today. First things first, we're kicking off 2018, you guys, and why not kick it off with Jessica here? She's ready to have her third baby, and so she's in the salon to get her roots touched up. You guys can see she has amazing blonde hair, but when you're a blonde, you know, like, this is not what we love, you know? So we're gonna just refreshen her up before she has her third baby. When's your due date? When are you having it?
The 29th.
She's having her baby boy. If you guys don't know, this is Jessica G. Her and her husband travel. Will you tell them a little bit about you and your life and what you guys do?
Yeah, a few years ago, 2.5 years ago, we sold everything we own and we travel full-time around the world. So we're staying here for about 3 months to have a baby, and then we're back on the road.
And they've been to, do you even know how many places you've been?
We've been to 50 countries. 50 countries. With our 2 little kids, and soon to be 3.
Oh my gosh. And then this 2018 year, you're doing the same thing.
More traveling.
You're not done.
More traveling, yep.
Do you ever feel like you're gonna be done?
I think we'll always travel. We won't travel full-time, but yeah, we'll always travel.
Yeah. So how fun is that? I mean, they're called the Bucket List Family, which, I mean, they're creating their bucket list, which, I mean, is a perfect name for them. And they do have a YouTube channel, and you guys are almost on your 100th video.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Are you on the 100th video?
In a few weeks.
Oh my gosh. We're excited. I love her, and she's a great friend of mine, and we're just going to show you guys a little tutorial. It's going to be somewhat educational, but it's also going to be very repetitive, because you guys know if you're a hairstylist, doing blonde back-to-back foils is repetitive. So we're going to kind of just be here, have fun together, and I'll show you the toner that I use on her today. I'll show you all the few things that we will be working with. So we're gonna get right with it, and you guys have fun watching. All right, we're here back in the color bar, and we are using my favorite lightener, which is Magic Lightener. It's magic. And we're gonna just work off of what we need and kind of work our way up. So I'm just gonna add 1.5 scoops of it, and I'm gonna be working with 20 volume because we're starting on the back. And then we'll move up and we'll go forward to the top, which I'm out of. So that. I'm out of 20 volume, but it's okay, don't worry. I would suggest using Magic's 20, but because I'm out of it, I'm gonna have to use Redken's 20, which is fine. Developer's developer, you can kind of use it whenever. They are supposed to be mixed together with the same brand, but I'm not too worried. So I'm just doing pretty much 3 ounces of lightener is what it is. And then of course, you guys know I'm obsessed with my Framar brushes. And then I am going to be using a tiny bit of Olaplex because even though I'm using 20 volume and I'm not too worried about any issues with overlapping or much like that, I just still want to have that security of it. So I'm going to go in here and add a 1/16 ounce of Olaplex. Perfect. And this lightener is glue based. As it lightens, it tones out as well. So that's really nice to be able to work with a lightener that way. And that's pretty much the consistency I'll be working with. All right, let's go foil her hair. All right, you guys, so Jessica does part her hair off-centered, but she's also a little bit of a tousler. So when you have a person that is a tousler, has kind of also a part that strictly kind of goes there, it's very important to start off your coloring with your sectioning with where she parts. So we're gonna be actually doing a partial on her today. So I'm gonna work off of off-center mohawk. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. And then with the sides, I definitely don't go up and go back up like this. I always go back like this because if you ever pull your hair back, I don't want little polka dots right here. So if you guys know what I mean, I'm gonna go around the hairline back and I'm gonna be doing diagonal sectioning. So let me section her off. Alright you guys, so the way I like to work off of a partial is I like to take like this back section where I'm going to be done foiling. I'm going to take this at a slant, so I'm going to go like this, and this is going to lead up right to above her ear. So then that way everything kind of ends up being like a good straight line. Then once I get to where this section is, I will be doing like a good zigzag section so we can have some of this color because this is all her virgin, you see, and it's really pretty. But I'm gonna break a little bit of that up. So I'm just sectioning her off in 3 sections, the side, the mohawk, and the other side. So I got my assistant on hand with me. This is Beauty by Tiff on Instagram. You gotta follow her because A, she's my cousin. She's on Academy M with me and she's an amazing assistant. So I wanna explain really quickly though what we're doing. So with these 7 foils that we have so far, I'm doing a variety of stitching. I'm stitching it from medium weave to baby light to slicing, medium weave, baby light, slicing. So and when you do a variation of stitching, what your results will be is you'll be super blonde, but you'll also keep it dimensional. So it looks like in the past, which, I mean, she's obviously traveling around the world, and so, I mean, she gets what she gets when she goes to salons, and it looks like whoever did her hair last did a really good job on doing like a fine stitching. So I could either pick out what they've done to kind of touch up those roots, but I'm gonna change it up just a little so it's a different variety of a blonde. So this section, we're gonna go off of a medium stitch. And then I'll tell you guys, in between at the shampoo bowl, her natural is really, really pretty. But because Jessica's busy and traveling and she has 3 kids almost, like, we want to go in and create a little bit more of a low maintenance blonde for her. So depending on what I'm feeling and what I'm seeing as she's processing and at the shampoo bowl, I might go in and do a in-between smudge between the foil, and we'll talk about that when we get there. And that's one thing I want to tell you guys, okay? So a lot of people always ask, like, middle of the process, what are you gonna tone her with? And you don't really know what you're gonna tone anybody with until you see the result of the color that it's turned out. And I've done Jessica's hair before, I kinda understand her hair, so I know her hair lifts really, really good and really quick. Another trick I wanna teach you guys really fast. So she has a good amount of regrowth. I mean, we're talking like 3 inches here. If you're ever worried about overlapping lightener on top of blonde hair, you should be worried, first of all. Second of all, the trick you can do, I'm pretty confident with not doing it, but you can take conditioner or Olaplex and glaze over this strand so you're not overlapping. Because if you overlap on top of your blonde, you're gonna get damage, and nobody wants damage. So, just a few little tricks up my sleeve that you guys may or may not already know. Alright you guys, so we are getting finished up. We are just on the sides here. And everything I do when I work, I go off of where the movement of the head is gonna be. So like where the hair is gonna fall. So around the hairline, I really like to go in here and make sure that we're going diagonally forward. So when she pulls her hair back, she's gonna have some awesome blonde going around her hairline. So all the way through the front to the end here, I do my slicing. I don't do any stitching. I just slice all the way through. And throughout the whole hair, we've done a mixture. Like I said earlier, we've done a variation of blonde, medium stitch, baby lights, and slicing. And I do, you guys, like sometimes my clients are like, ow, that hurts. I like to hold it and get it pretty tight around the hairline. And one thing I have to tell you guys, humongous shout out, like look at this brush. It really helps me just get through a whole section all in one swipe. So it's awesome. So, and also too, you guys, we went in and we mixed up a new batch of lightener. And thanks to Tiffany, we're doing an even process both on each side. Jessica has a ton of hair. Obviously, when you do a blonde and you're retouching the roots, you're gonna feel like the top's really light and then the ends are a little dull. We're gonna go through here and we're going to just open and expose these ends just a little bit, so that way when I tone her hair, it's really gonna last and it's gonna be a really good lasting toner, because I don't want her to feel like it's fading out too fast for her. So I'm gonna take Monet's detangler because she has just a lot of hair. And I'm gonna kind of get through those ends really quick. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to grab some shampoo. This is just the repair shampoo from Monet. I'm gonna put it onto her ends. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some lightener and we're going just to open and expose that cuticle. It's nothing like, oh my gosh, you're overlapping on top of blonde hair. I'm not worried about it at all because her hair's healthy. I wouldn't be doing this. I would analyze the hair before you do this. If you have someone's hair that isn't healthy and just cannot handle, then do not do it. And that's gonna be at your guys' best judgment, you know? I can't tell you if you can or if you should or shouldn't overlap on top of lightener blonde hair. But her ends, I mean, she's been growing her hair out, and this is like the end of her ends are probably like when I did her hair back in 2015. So we just want to kind of brighten those ends a little bit more and make sure that toner really sticks in there. So I can already see a change, which, I mean, Jessica travels a lot like we keep saying, and so like she's using constant like different types of water in her hair. Like we have probably hard water, mineral water, we have a lot of well water probably in here. So there's a lot of different types of water in her hair. So kind of removing out that old color and that buildup, this is a really good trick for you guys to know to do. This is my magic toner. It's crazy because it's a whole different color. It starts, obviously it oxidizes, but it's really runny because I like to kind of run it all over the hair. The runnier the better when you're working with toners, because it really seeps and digs really down into the insides of the hair. So when you have more of a cream type of toner or more of a jelly liquid style, it's kind of gonna sit on that surface before it gets into the insides of the hair. So yeah, it's pretty runny if you can see that. Alright, you guys, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take this hair by sections, and we're not going to go too technical with it. We're going to just take this toner, I'm going to put it in my shampoo bowl, and I'm going to just start taking all of this. Watch this magic happen. I'm going to have you close your eyes for me if you don't mind. We're going to just start pouring this down. So this is like the base part of what I do, which will get insides of this strands, the internals of the hair. So I sit this here, and I want this to sit for a minute, and then I'm gonna glaze it with 9T and 9V, and it's soaking up in her hair, which is a good thing. Blondes are very porous, so imagine wood, you know, or a sponge. The second you put something on there, they're gonna really soak it in. So this is really working in her hair. Look at that color. That's so beautiful. And then when you add in a Redken Shade DQ in, which is demi-permanent, you're gonna have like 30 washes full of a good, pretty ashy blonde. Does that make sense, you guys? Fresh with blonde, it's still wet. We are going to add in a few heat protectant products. So the first thing we're gonna add in is our Rejuva Beads, which is our split end mender. So I'm gonna just do 3 pumps of that. And this is called our 1 minute miracle. So I add it into like the mids to the ends and I just kind of squeeze it into here. Okay, and then because she has a lot of hair, we're gonna go in and we're gonna let that sit for just a minute. And then we're gonna go in and use our blowout cream. So Monet's blowout cream, it helps blow dry the hair 50% faster. So that's really good. And it's not gonna coat the hair too much. I just gonna go in through here. Your hair's gone so long.
It is long.
For some reason it looks longer than, yeah, the fresh blonde made it grow all of a sudden. So yeah, we're gonna go in and do a rough dry, and then we're gonna give her a blowout, and then I'm gonna trim up her ends just a teeny bit while it's dry, and then we'll show you guys the results. Finished up. Look at this blonde babe. Are you kidding me? Look at that hair. How do you feel?
Good. So good. It feels amazing. Super soft and the perfect blonde.
Yes! That's exactly what I want to hear. So that's what I love doing, you guys. I love being a blonde specialist, and I love making people feel blonde and beautiful. Look at those roots, you guys. So what we did is we did a little bit of a smudgy root, okay? So and at first she's like, oh my gosh, am I gonna go dark? Like, what is this? I mean, it's always a mystery because as a blonde, you're painting something on. So reassure your client every minute of the day because they're thinking when you paint something on their root, it's gonna be dark, right? So look down a little bit. Again. You guys see how pretty and ashy that is? And we kind of just bumped up her base a little bit, and we did those slicing around the hairline so you guys can kind of see, like, look at her. She's beautiful. We all know she's beautiful. But it was so fun. I hope you guys learned a thing or two. I'm here to be here a little bit more often. I'm sorry I've been a little stranger, but I'm busy. And so we're here more often. I'm glad I can bring you guys this video. If you guys don't follow the Bucket List family, you'll be sorry if you don't. They're the funnest, cutest people in the whole wide world. And we kind of like live through them. So, I love it. Anything you want to say?
No, thank you. You're the best.
You're welcome. I love it. Alright guys, subscribe to the video and like, comment, all the things. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video. You guys, we're all here, us blondies. Oh, here's the trio, the blonde trio. But she's as white as the wall. We have a little bit more warmth going on, me and Tiff. But this is Tiff, she's my assistant, and she helped through the whole process today. Thank goodness, because guess what? This chick has so much hair.
Thickest hair.
Like, her ponytail is like this big. It's a big ponytail. People pay thousands of dollars for hair like hers, but she just was like born with it, you know?
Lucky.